All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the Apostle GMS who rule well, and salutations to the Akim in the four corners doing this work in sincerity and in truth. All right, I just want to share an article I just came across on Russia Today. All right, and it reads Great Depression 2.0 with the question mark. Worst second quarter start for U.S. stocks since 1939. All right, and here it goes. American stocks saw the worst start in April since the Great Depression, and Chinese retaliatory tariffs spooked investors in the world's largest economy. The SP50 index fell 2.2% after the first trading session in the second quarter. This was only ever worse 89 years ago, and that's talking about the Great Depression, when it fell by 2.5%. Back then, it was a sell-off that triggered the Great Depression. Right. The worst economic crisis in U.S. history. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged 1.9%, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite Index plummeted 2.74%. One of the largest companies listed on the NASDAQ, Amazon, extending its losses following attacks on the firm by President Donald Trump, shedding more than 5% of its value. It's more complicated than just a tech sell-off. What's hurt everything is that the SP went through its 200-day moving average, said Brian Battle, director of trading at Performance Trust Capital Partners in Chicago, as quoted by Reuters. That attracts momentum sellers, and they don't care what the fundamentals are. The S&P 500 is in a 10% correction from its record high in late January. On Monday, China introduced additional tariffs of up to 25% on 128 U.S. products, including frozen pork, wine, and certain fruits and nuts, in response to Washington's duties on imports of Chinese aluminum and steel. Right, because Donald Trump put out a tariff, and look up that word, tariff is a tax or duty to be paid on a peculiar class of imports on exports. All right, and then you got the verb, the fixed price of something according to a tariff. All right, so basically they're putting more taxes on the stuff that they're importing. So Donald Trump, he put more taxes on the aluminum and steels being traded to China, and likewise China did it back to them with the pork and like the article said, pork and where's it at? It says 208 U.S. products, including frozen pork, wine, and certain fruits and nuts. All right. So it's this trading war that's going on, man, and it's it's just the beginning of things that's going to lead until the economy collapsing. All right. So reading again, it says on Monday, China introduced additional tariffs up to 25% on 128 U.S. products, including frozen pork, wine, certain fruits and nuts, in response to Washington duties on imports of Chinese aluminum and steel. Beijing has also pledged to introduce a proportional response in case the White House decides to impose a new round of tariffs hiked against Chinese goods. All right. So then I just want to bring out this second article. Right here, it says the Dow drops almost 460 points on news of China's tariffs, and Trump slamming Amazon. All right. And it says the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 458 points down as Beijing slapped tariffs on U.S. imports in retaliation for the U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs, and President Donald Trump blasted online retail giant Amazon. Because right now, Amazon is basically taking over the whole internet selling game, man. And so President Donald Trump, he basically, started talking trash about them, saying that they're not paying federal taxes. All right. So, like the scripture says, a house against itself, how can it stand? And Amazon is an American company. All right. And this going reading says, on Monday, Beijing imposed a 15% duty on 127 U.S. products, as well as a 25% tariff on pork in retaliation of Trump's recent tariffs on Chinese exports. Further down it says, China and the United States are the world's two biggest economies. Incorporation is the only correct choice, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce said, announcing the tariffs, adding that it hoped the U.S. would rescind its tariff decision as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Amazon Incorporated shares took a nearly 6% dive after Trump continually criticized the company. On Friday, the president blasted Amazon for not paying federal taxes and benefiting from cheap U.S. postal service shipping rates. This will be changed, he tweeted on Monday. So Trump's probably going to sit there and charge them more to ship out these different products throughout their company, because they're not going to let them just use. He's not going to let them just use the regular shipping prices that the regular American people use, because he's seeing that Amazon is boosting and is making a lot of money. He's going to try to tax them and make them pay more for shipping and handling, which is going to cause Amazon to charge their customers more to buy the products, because you go on Amazon, you can find things cheaper than you can go to the stores. Like, for example, I needed some brakes and rotors this week, and I went to Pep Boys, and the same brakes and rotors that I purchased at Pep Boys was $293, and that's before Pep Boy gives you a military discount. I'm a veteran, so they gave me a 10% discount, so it dropped it down to $273. But then I remembered, and I was like, let me go check and see how much these same brakes and rotors I could find on Amazon, and it was $133 with no shipping and handling. So that's, again, right there proves Amazon is taking over the game. You can find almost anything on Amazon for cheaper than you could find in these stores. It's going to come to a point where you're not even going to go out to these stores no more. You can just sit there, order from your phone or your laptop or your tablet, anything like that. And Donald Trump, he's seeing that, so he's going to try to tax them more money since they're making a lot of money. Donald Trump's going to make them pay, he's going to tax them for that. All right. Keep reading. Trump also said the Washington Post, owned by Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, should register as a lobbyist. The newspaper has been unwaveringly critical of Trump since the 2016 election campaign. All right, so yeah, this is just two articles to show, man, that this place is about to go down. All right, these trading wars is just the beginning of things. It's gonna be more and more of this stuff going on. All right, so with that being said, I'm just gonna say shalom.